Hello everyone, it's me SkingloNafro and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now I know I've not done a video in a couple of weeks, but I was sorting myself out, because my energy was a little bit low. And you know full well, I've explained it before, when my energy is low, I don't do a YouTube video. I just don't. Anyway, to get to the topic of discussion today, last week it came out that a watchdog did an investigation and the police apparently have said that they don't understand why their powers are disproportionately used against Black, Asian and ethnic minority backgrounds. People from those backgrounds that don't understand why their powers are still used against them disproportionately, which means more often than everybody else. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that is the lamest excuse I've ever heard on planet Earth. You don't know why you target people more often. Even though you blatantly have admitted your racism, but just like British people do, they admit their racism, but they don't admit it. As in, they say things that are clearly racist, but they still deny it in the same breath. Do we look stupid to you? Do we? Do we look stupid to you or something? I don't understand how you Russell people can sit there and say that you don't understand why you are targeting Black people, Asian people and ethnic minority people from, like, how can you not understand what you have just said? How can you not understand what you have just said? Make it make sense. Will the police in this country ever admit that racism exists in this country? Will they ever admit that their institution is racist? And the simple fact is, because the police exist and because they've been racist all this time, it's not just going to be a case of them having anti-bias training and that will fix the problem, because this is the real world. This is not a frigging cartoon, okay? Things are not just going to magically change. The truth is, the matter is, like I said in my previous video, we may need to be looking at abolishing the police force, because what purpose are they serving if they're supposed to serve us, the taxpayers who pay their salary? Instead they're targeting us. Did you know that here in the UK, Black men are 10 times more likely to be stopped and searched in comparison to any other race? Not only are they 10 times more likely to be stopped and searched, they're also more likely to be hospitalised in a mental health hospital. Racism once again. Thirdly, they're also more likely to be pulled over when driving a nice fancy car, because of course a Black man can't have a nice car legitimately. No, he must be breaking the law. He must be breaking the law because, you know, Black men are only good for, you know, drug dealing and all that kind of shit. He can't ever be, you know, a nice, decent human being. They always have to demonize them, and this is what the police do. You don't seem to realize the damage that you are doing, and you're destroying whole communities by placing these racial stereotypes upon them. And it's frankly disgusting, and it keeps on continuing. I mean, it's 2021. What is that to admit that you don't understand why you keep disproportionately targeting these ethnic minorities and Black people? You don't seem to understand that. You don't seem to understand, even though the government is racist themselves, let's be honest, but even the government will sit there and admit that the police are doing fuckery. They're not changing the police. But even the government will admit it, because you can just go onto the government website and you can search it up and you can see the racism. It's right there. They have the statistics of Black people being more likely to be targeted than any other race in this country. Yet the police force doesn't seem to know that they're racist. We ain't stupid. Y'all can deny it till the cows come home, but we ain't stupid. We are very intelligent people. We are very intelligent and we know exactly what's going on. It's been going on since before I was even born. That's how long it's been going on. I'm telling you, 33 in 2 months. That's how long that shit has been going on. And yet they still keep saying, oh, no, we're not racist. We just don't understand why we keep targeting these people. What's this? That's what you see? You see this? And that's why you start acting foolish. Foolish jankros, that's what they are. And I don't understand, in 2021, you're admitting it, but you're not admitting it. It's not making sense. You're really not making any sense. I mean, we know you're racist. I mean, just look at the Stephen Lawrence case. How you took ages and ages and ages and ages to resolve. And it also took years and years and years for the Metropolitan Police Force in London to admit they are racist, and to also admit that their response to Stephen Lawrence being murdered was actually because they're institutionally racist. It took them years. He was murdered in 1992, and it was like in the early 2000s when they actually admitted it, that racism was behind the reason. They was not quick to catch up to those right racists. There was not. And this is why there was a deep distrust between black people particularly and police officers. It does not matter whether you're a black police officer, Asian police officer, or white police officer. There is a deep distrust. And frankly, I don't think it's ever going to be resolved in my lifetime, because the police have done so much damage. The police have been stopping and searching people that don't need to be stopping and searching. The police have been murdering people in police custody. And all these things that keep happening, they're not going to get resolved. The police are racist. They know they're racist. I don't know why they're denying it, but they keep acting like people are clueless. But this is just the thing, what I keep saying about the violence, the covertness of this country, covert racism, overt racism, you know, it's all there. We all experience it here in this country. And I keep telling people, Britain is racist. The police force is institutionally racist. There was a case last month of a black firefighter who, well, he wasn't qualified yet. He was training, and he ended up committing because he was dealing with racial discrimination within the fire force. And this is what I keep saying, these massive institutions in this country, they're racist. And it's unfortunate that he had to lose his life because he was being bullied because he was black. And yet you will have white people who will sit there and say it's nothing to do with racism, it's nothing to do with the racism, oh, it's just black. No, okay, first of all, even if it was nothing to do with racism, why the fact are you grown adults bullying someone else in the first place? Like, how does that make sense? Grown adults bullying someone. I don't expect children to bully someone, though you expect it more often in their age range because their brains haven't matured. But grown adults over the age of 25, when your brain has actually matured, why are you bullying someone? And then to sit there and say it's nothing to do with racism, even though it clearly was. And then the fact that the chief of that fire force had a cheat to sit there and say, oh, he did not realise that it was anything to do with racism. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, I'm frankly disgusted that it had to happen. I'm frankly disgusted that that poor guy had to lose his life. And for his boss to sit there and say that he did not realise what was going on. Like, sir, are you okay? Are you actually okay? You did not realise what was going on. You did not realise that your employees were bullying someone else. And I'm sure you must have been involved as well. That's exactly what you're acting like it didn't have nothing to do with racism. Because of course you're not going to sit there and admit like, oh yes, I'm racism and I am racist and I did bully him. Like, let's be honest, you're not going to admit that. But we know what you did. And he knows what he did. That's why he unfortunately took his life. So, like I said, I'm going to wrap the video up here because I feel like I've said enough. But I do want to reiterate that the police are racist, always going to be racist. I don't really see what much more can be done to, you know, get it through people's heads that not only them, but Britain is racist. Britain is deeply racist. I mean, it's even just from the microaggressions when you work anywhere in this country to, like I said about the police, to people on social media. Even that, like, you talk about racism and people will come and literally argue you down as if they're in some deep denial, because why would you want to admit racism? I mean, this is the same Britain that denied that slavery happened, even though they was the one who kick-started it. So what does that tell you? Like, Britain kick-started slavery. transatlantic slavery, stealing people from Africa, taking them across the world, and then saying that slavery didn't happen, it was just imagination. Or what they basically did is, well, from memory in my school, primary school, the way they was teaching us about it was they basically glossed over a lot of the details, like slavery happened, that's it. They weren't willing to admit that Britain was involved that much. We had to wait till we was a lot older to do our own research, and from what our parents told us about the truth, because I mean a lot of them came from Caribbean countries and come from African countries, and the legacy of colonialism is there. And even with the police force. So, you know, it's shocking. The denial is absolutely shocking. Not surprising, but shocking, because the absolute audacity. But yep, I'm going to wrap this video up here. So please let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And I shall be back later for some more YouTube videos. Okay, bye.